Hi, good morning. This is Trisha with Homemade Homestead here in North Carolina. It's kind of a cloudy, drizzly, rainy day, but actually it's very welcomed. The rain is cutting down some of the humidity that we've been dealing with. It's actually kind of cool outside, which not only am I enjoying, but every single animal is enjoying a little break from the heat, especially our rabbits, which is who I want to talk about today. Just a real quick blurb on the idea of rabbits as livestock, which I know is an extremely foreign idea to a lot of people. People have a really hard time viewing Fluffy, what they would call Bunny, as a food source or a food option. But I am here to tell you that they are definitely a really good option for livestock. Some facts and benefits are, fact, rabbit meat is super lean and healthy. Absolutely is one of its nicknames is the salmon of the land. Fact, they have a real quick turnaround rate, 30 to 35 days. Doe is pregnant, and you basically want to process out your grow out rabbits at the 12 to 14 week mark, so you're not raising them super long and feeding them super long, and you're getting a really healthy lean meat. Another fact about rabbits is they are quiet. So those who are really just still dreaming about homesteading because you live in a neighborhood and your neighborhood has all these restrictions against livestock, which chicken are clearly livestock, and people usually report you if you have a chicken flock in your backyard. Rabbits are viewed as backyard pets, so you can kind of inadvertently sneak in meat rabbits, breeding rabbits, and none are the wiser, and you have created for yourself a food source that people outside of your fence looking into your backyard just view as pets. So it's definitely a livestock option that I think a lot of people can get away with in a neighborhood, whereas they couldn't get away with raising like meat birds. We had to change our mindset of rabbits as a meat option because we needed a good, healthy white meat option that our son Scott could eat, who was highly allergic to chicken. He cannot eat chicken. He cannot eat chicken eggs. And that's when you're feeding a family and you're trying to cook for everybody, and you have a child who can't eat a chicken dinner, which is like such a common go-to meal, especially for a big family. That complicates things, and then you're constantly having to make, separate meals for food allergies. And although I do it a lot and I have done it multiple times, it is really, really nice to have a meat option that everybody in the house can eat. And anything that you do with chicken, you can do with rabbit. So if you like chicken and dumplings, you can make rabbit and dumplings. If you like chicken tacos, we eat rabbit taco all the time. Rabbit is really a tender meat that when you cook it slow in a crock pot, it falls apart kind of like a pulled pork. So barbecue rabbit sandwich is big winner in our house. We don't actually have a huge rabbit setup. We actually want to grow our setup. We're working on growing our setup. We have some more grow out cages that we haven't been able to get up off the ground and roofed yet. So as soon as we can get all of that going, we're actually going to grow our breeding line and hopefully get more rabbits going. But currently right now we have 2 breeding bucks. This is one of our breeding bucks, Vanilla Wafer. He has 2 does that I keep at this end with him, that we breed with him, Ginger and Flower. All of our rabbits have food names. Flower is flour, like Flour, like you bake with. She actually currently still has some little guys in her cage that are just about age ready that they can be leaving soon in the next week or so. Over here at this end we have Marshmallow in there. She's a purebred New Zealand sweet rabbit, and my newest breeder, who I haven't got to breed yet, we call her Sprinkles. She's super pretty and I'm super excited about breeding her. She's almost breeding age, but it's too hot to breed rabbits in the summer. You don't want to breed them in the summer. The females not only struggle because of the heat, so if you've ever been pregnant in the summer, it's miserable. And then having kits to raise when you're super hot. And also the other fun fact about breeding in the summer is your bucks go sterile in high heat. And living in North Carolina, it is hot. So your bucks are sterile, so you could attempt to breed, but most likely your does won't even get pregnant. So it's going to be a big waste of everybody's time. So as soon as we get late September-ish and temperatures drop, we're finally going to get to breed Sprinkles here, who's hiding her face. She's grooming. Let me see, Sprinkles. There she is. So we named her Sprinkles because her little face has little chocolate sprinkles all over it. So cute. She's real sweet. She's a Tamaruk New Zealand mix. Like I said, we have a lot of mixed breed rabbits, which I like mutt animals. I think they are kind of well-tempered animals. Super excited. Her breeds are known for giving large litters, so we're hoping that we get litters of like 8 to 12 out of her. And we'll see when that breeding time comes. And then our buck down here, who will eventually breed with her, is Gravy Boat. Gravy is actually an American chinchilla. He is a purebred, and we purchased him from another homestead that was getting out of breeding rabbits. It just wasn't for them, and we got him for a really good deal. He's super sweet, makes really beautiful babies, chunky babies, does really good. So he's a good boy. Down here we have grow out cages that currently can hold, multiple rabbits in a cage. We separate them, males and females, and this is where they're growing out to the 12 to 14 mark. When they hit about 12 to 14 weeks of age, that's when they're about that 3-pound size, and that's when we're gonna process them. And it is, like I said, this is a foreign concept, rabbits, to most people. But I think if you're just now exploring homesteading, exploring raising your own food, you're going to see a lot of rabbit stuff, and you're going to realize that a lot more people are doing this. And it's well worth it. It's well worth the time. Really good meat. Very easy to raise. We feed them a nice non-GMO pellet, and then we also collect greens for them from the yard and scraps from the garden. Want to give them a lot of healthy food options. Here we have some more little babies over here. Hey, sweet babies. Yeah, so I realized they're so cute and cuddly, and this is why people have a hard time viewing rabbits as livestock, because we grew up with them as pets, right? And a lot of them we cuddled, and they hopped around our house, and that's just our mindset. But if you run into needing a really healthy alternative food source like we did, and we needed more than just the normal option of meat, birds, and chickens, exploring rabbits was definitely, I'm so glad we did. I don't regret it at all. Rabbits are definitely the thing we want to grow on the homestead, and then probably is the one thing that we will always raise. We have literally talked about stop raising chickens. Chickens are messy, and birds tend to struggle with parasites and diseases, and you have to, whether you like it or not, when you bring chicks in and first put them on the ground, you have to sometimes deal with coccidia loads and worming loads, and we don't have any of those issues with our rabbits, and they're just, and frankly, they're easier to process than chickens. Processing a rabbit takes less time. It's really quick, it's easy, it's a lot less messy. Overall, even with my kids who help with all of this, they all agree, and they all say, hey, I'd rather focus on rabbits, raise the rabbit line, get more rabbits as a food option, and do less birds. The birds just take up more space, and they're messier, and they're harder to process. And I don't think we'll ever stop raising turkey and duck. Turkey and duck are also meats that Scott can eat, so it's a meat that everybody in the house can eat. And then again, I only have to make one dinner versus 2 options. But we really are considering cutting back on the chicken raising for meat. We just find the rabbits to be easier and better. And like I said, if you live in a neighborhood, this is a great alternative. Rabbits are quiet. They don't make noise. You can hear probably chickens squawking behind me. Chickens can be noisy and they're hard to hide in a neighborhood for people who are trying to start this life before they're able to get out into the country and buy land. But rabbits are easy. I mean, you can set up a nice rabbit area. You can beautify it with garden beds around it or whatever you have to do so that if somebody sees in your backyard, it's not an eyesore, and it really just looks like you have some backyard pets, which most people aren't going to complain about. So rabbits as a food source, I highly encourage you to look into it. I highly encourage you to try and change that mental idea or image as rabbits only being pets. And we will definitely be doing more rabbit videos when breeding kicks in. We'll probably do a video on breeding and how we breed these guys, and how that works with rabbits. And then of course when they start to birth baby kits, that's so fun. And we'll show you the nests and baby kits and count them and kind of talk about that and raising them. And eventually will all lead to a rabbit processing video, because that's part of it. I mean, this is what it's about, being able to raise food in your backyard, and then you yourself able to do what needs to be done to turn that into, food that goes in the freezer. So it's the hardest part about raising animals, is knowing that day comes that they are going to be dispatched. But we love our animals. We do our best to take care of them, to keep them healthy, to give them like an absolutely good life. We want them to have one bad day, and we want that to actually happen so fast and humanely that really they don't even know they had a bad day. So that's the goal when you're raising animals, is to do it humanely, safely, to do it for the love of the animal and for the health and well-being of you and your family is why we do this. So if you have any questions about rabbits, feel free to comment, and I'll do my best to get to the comments and answer any specific questions. Please, feel free to check us up on our Facebook page, Homemade Homestead on Facebook, and then also, like this, subscribe, share. Anybody out there that that maybe has been struggling with food allergies, food sensitivities, and is looking for food alternatives in their life so that they have something new and not the same old Monday thing, maybe, send them this video and say, hey, have you ever thought of rabbits as an option for yourself? So it really is a great option. So thanks so much for watching, for listening. Have a great day, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye, guys.